Hello, welcome back to Star Citizen, where we're on the bridge of a 600i this time? What the hell? What's with all the weird ships all of a sudden? Yeah, basically the PTU is over, and 3.5.1 has been sent to the live servers. It still has quite a huge amount of issues that I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hotfix in the near future. Anyway, in addition to that, everyone has been given the opportunity to play around with all currently flyable Origin ships. So that means all 300 series, all 600i variants, the M50, the 85X. You know, quite a few ships. So I figured, you know, I could try and show you around this vessel this time. Anyway, that was the bridge. If you enter the ship, you'll probably do it through this elevator right here. That can also go down to the lower level that we have below us, and also to the outside, but we're not heading outside now because we're basically in space in the middle of nowhere pretty much. For the bridge crew, there's also these nice shiny escape pods here that I don't think work currently, but you know, for future gameplay might be pretty interesting. Actually, I'm not in the touring variant, but in the boring one. Oh damn. I thought I did get the touring variant, but now I see I'm actually getting the... I did actually get the exploration variant. Anyway, the exploration variant has this huge scanning room here in the middle, which has that display over there and two people working over here. If you ask me, it's a giant waste of space in my opinion, you know. I'm not particularly happy with the design of the whole thing either, because it has this whole round, not really edgy kind of stuff going on everywhere, which just takes up way more space than, you know, clearly defined edges. And then it's always white with a little bit of gray, which is, you know, feels like a hospital in my opinion. Anyway, if you go back further into the ship, there's a small tech room on the side here, and then there's a lounge area here. The touring variant, which is more focused on ferrying people around, also has this lounge area. Some smaller details might be different, but it also has the bar up there, then a table, the couch over here, down here a screen with some pool table over there, and then a small kitchen over here. The whole thing is contained so that you can't just waltz through the kitchen, but there are additional tech rooms on the side of the thing, which also further behind those is actually also cargo room, which has movable panels that as an engineer you might want to take a look at if there's some damage, you know, which is a little bit of a weird design decision to have, you know, potentially have the ship to ferry around some sort of VIP, and then you have this whole area here where you want the VIP or VIPs to be. But then if there's some issues, your engineer has to go all the way through the VIP area to get to the tech rooms back here. That's a bit odd, if you ask me. Kind of a really weird design decision that probably went like, we have some space back there we're not entirely sure how to fill, let's throw some tech rooms in there. Which, not really a great idea in my opinion. Now let's use the elevator here and hope it doesn't kill us. Also might opening the door maybe? Thank you. Let's go to the lower deck. The lower deck is more focused on serving the needs of the crew and not potential guests. There's a ramp here that you can lower where you could store a ground vehicle. Further back, however, is the general area for the crew, which has this huge ass, beautiful looking, but not very functional room back here, where there's beds on these alcoves on the side of the room, which, you know, it's nice beds and all that, but, you know, a little bit of privacy. You know, we're servicing, if you're serving as crew on a ship like that, you'll probably want to have at least a little bit of privacy, and there's nothing, no walls, not even, you know, some cloth that you can pull over your bed when you want to sleep and not be disturbed. It's really weird what went into the design of that room. Back here there's also, you know, bathroom, showers, all that. Which, these are nice, you know, like a pretty decent gym, but and some emergency capsules again. But this entire room is just super weird, unless there's some kind of walls that can just be affixed in whatever this thing is, which I'm not entirely sure what that is for. It kind of ruins the whole wood aesthetic a bit. But anyway, so much about complaining about the ship. The other variant that I'm not showing you now would, in this middle section, have some more rooms as kind of bunks for VIPs, and those are really decent rooms, I gotta say. Not as all weird and messed up like the crew quarters back there, but the crew quarters are pretty much the same. And then here you would have the room for the captain with a huge ass bed that looks around directly into space, you know, for those romantic getaways, you know. And some work area here, another couch here, some plants, you know. Really not a huge. I don't really have a huge issue with that particular room. I think for the captain's quarters it's okay to waste a little bit of space, but back for the crew quarters it's just way too much space wasted for really no good reason. Anyway, in this episode we'll continue on to ArcCorp. Would you open the door? Thank you. Which is a new planet that was recently introduced, but I haven't made any recording about yet because getting there is difficult, but leaving there was a really hard part in the past. Now it's gotten a little bit better, and I think I might just, you know, take a trip over to there. We're almost there, but not entirely. Come on, drive.
Engines active. Engines power low.
All right. There's some weird issues with quantum driving right now, which is why I'm spooling to 100% first and then start the calibrating process. Sounds completely weird and arbitrary. It also is completely weird and arbitrary, but that's the situation we have right now.
Quantum drive activated.
This pretty reliably works, just normally using quantum drive doesn't really. Anyway, another thing I could mention about the ship is the exterior is a pretty sleek design, no doubt about that. The gun back there on the top, and here on the side wing, and on the other side wing there's also one, kind of the main gun that the main guns that the pilot controls. They are pretty powerful, you know. They're size 5 guns, I believe, size 5 laser cannons, and they're pretty powerful and can wreck fighters in probably 1 to 2 hits, and cutlasses in maybe 3, constellations in maybe 5. So you can dispatch ships pretty easily. However, they're fixed guns on a pretty huge ass ship that can turn surprisingly well for its size, but not that great that you really want to dogfight with pretty much anything, unless it's unless it has at least the size of a cutlass. So it's kind of weird to play with this because you really need to focus on your aiming with a fixed gun and a huge ass ship. But on top of the pilot controlled guns, it also has 2 turrets, one of which you see in the back behind the glass here in the area where we were before, with the whole lounge, the bar and all that. Right on top there is kind of an aft turret that protects the aft section of the ship, and also down below there's also turrets to cover the section to cover the lower section of the ship. Interestingly, both these turrets are outfitted with energy distortion guns. Energy distortion guns basically function against shields as any other gun does. However, once you're done with the shield, the energy distortion guns won't do any physical damage to the ship, really. What the hell is going on with the quantum drive? Hello, quantum drive? Quantum drive? Hold on a sec. That still works. That's weird. After you've punched through the shields with energy distortion guns, they kind of damage systems so that a ship might lose its ability to use its weapons, or might lose the ability to maneuver properly and all that. Which is an interesting idea for this ship because the way the gunner's function here is to basically, against more agile ships, you basically try to immobilize your opponent so that your pilot can deal with it with the pretty powerful main guns, which is an interesting idea at least, and it's a little bit of a different, you know, layout than the usual. I have some turrets that also do a little bit of damage, so I don't really care who kills it as long as it's dead. But here, as the turret gunners, you can't really kill anything. But what's also interesting about it is that you control the guns not through some port where you have to go to the turret or anything, but rather just you go to the seats in front here, where you can sit down and either control subsystems by using the screen, or use the screen to enter the remote, or to enter the turrets remotely, which makes things a lot better than in the Constellation, for instance, where you have to physically go into the turret, which, you know, kind of sets you in a role of either I'm gonna man the turret, or nah, I think I should rather be in one of the subsystem screen and deal with those. So anyway, it has some pretty interesting ideas, no doubt, this ship. It is pretty huge though, which will become especially interesting when we try to land this bird on this planet's surface in a second here. Oh dear. But first we need to get closer there. It's still pretty far away, I think. I mean, Twitch might just be somewhere entirely else from the spaceport. So maybe I should actually look down. Yeah, the spaceport is over there. Not waste too much time just getting here. Why are you still calibrating? Go away. What the hell is happening with the quantum drive right now? It's doing weird shit. Well. The problem with the spaceport here in Area 18 is, or I think the name is Riker Memorial Spaceport, is that the spaceport just very, very barely fits the size of the ship. There's really not much space that you have to maneuver around, so it might take a moment. We'll see that in a second. Why is it drive? What's the drive spooling for? Thank you. Weird issues. Alright, we need to go close enough to the spaceport, and then once we're close enough we can ask for a hangar and then do our whole landing approach. No, that's global. It's not there yet. Alright. Should almost be there though. There's lots of other Origin 600Is, which, well, since everybody can fly them now, everybody wants to give them a shot, but I think few people are used to flying a ship like this. It's not too different from the Constellation I'm already being used to. Actually, in some aspects it's even more maneuverable than the Constellation. Though because the engine is not quite so pronounced, it does have issues slowing down, accelerating, and generally changing the trajectory of the ship, which Constellation has fewer issues with. But those main guns, they can really tear shit apart.
Weapons active.
No, I actually want to see if they're off.
Deactivated.
Anyway. Alright, we need to not hit whatever that thing on the left is. And then we need to pretty much align our ship exactly right above the dock that we see there. Also, there's additional no-fly zones in the red areas over there, so it's a bit of a mess. Get the ship in here. Alright, we're almost on top of it. What the hell? Why are you still going right? Stop it. Why are we still going fucking right, man? What the hell is this? I'm not turning. we please go left now? Sorry, I need to go a little bit away from here. There's weird things happening on our left side. On our right side, I mean. Alright, this is, you know, behavior I would expect. Alright. Now we probably need to go to the exterior view. And then take a look at the very top to see how well we're aligned so far. We're not very well aligned, gotta say. And all of the directions are messed up. For ships like these and locations like these, you know, the game would really benefit from some kind of landing cam so you could see what's happening below you. Alright. I think that fits. Alright. Landing here.
I'm sorry. Due to inactivity, we have been forced to assign your landing zone to another customer.
Ugh, fuck you! I just made it in here. Oh.
Landing complete. Engines.
Whoa! That was...
Warning. You are blocking an active flight. Please vacate the facility.
God, Jesus. Let's just get off the ship. Probably get another crime stat for illegal landing.
Initiating ship storage procedure.
But
For your
goddammit.
safety, please vacate the area.
You need to take your time to nail this landing because it's really not easy. So... Anyway, let's just exit the ship. Whee! And that's the whole thing on foot from outside. It's definitely pretty sleek. I'll give it that without a doubt. But it could fly a little bit more elegantly, you know. Anyway.
Initiating ship storage procedure. For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank you for your cooperation.
Let's head on out. Well, the ship already got stored. I did not get crime stat. That's good to know. Anyway, we'll take a look around ArcCorp. ArcCorp is similar to the ArcCorp that was formerly kind of a separate instance of the whole universe where you could just go and walk around on foot a little bit. That maybe some of the older people around you who have been with the game for a longer time, this is what I mean with older, have already seen at some point. Open the door, maybe? Door? God damn it. Thank you. But now the entire thing is integrated into the entire persistent universe system, and it's, you know, it looks similar to Hurston from the spaceport here, but a little bit nicer. And it's definitely going to be nicer the further we go over there. So let's. But again, it's quite a little bit of a tour that we need to take in order to get to places, because, you know, we just not step into the city right from the spaceport here. No, we need to pass through customs area, then we need to go through a security scanner, of course, thankfully we don't need. Thankfully, unlike in real airports, we don't need to wait and put all our things out and you know that kind of stuff. We have more advanced security scanners, and then from here we can take a train. The train here is kind of well, a levitating train. That's 64. It seems pretty good considering. And this one has 140. No, I'd rather take 64 than 140. And then from here on out we can. It was not 60, it was 90. Great. Yeah, well, welcome to Waiting Citizen. The planetary waiting simulator. Wait for buses, wait for levitating trams. Isn't it a delight? Well, at least it looks pretty, you know. At least there's that. As you can see, that's the way into the city. There's some other, I don't know, ships, cars. Not entirely sure what all these things are. So none of them, a few of them don't quite particularly look like ships. Also, they apparently despawn in the middle of nowhere, so it's just an illusion of stuff going on, sadly. Not really simulated ships, but it at least gives you the impression of there being traffic and all that. Alright. Yeah, there's really not that much to say about it. And I mean, it's all very detailed. You have things like probably ATMs right here, advertisements, although the advertisement here is a bit too bright in my opinion, garbage cans, and just general places to sit down. I'm not going to sit down here because in past versions you could occasionally just get teleported into space by just sitting down on one of these one of these things, so I'd rather not tempt fate. But sitting down here is pretty safe, but I would rather enjoy the view of when this whole thing departs, so that we can take a look at the city. The core inspiration for the city, in my opinion, appears to be a little bit the Blade Runner franchise. Especially by night, this is very visible. Since it's daytime right now here, we'll not be able to see it that exactly, but you have to believe me. And it has a lot of similarities of, like, you know, a city that's visually not that distinct from our own metropolitan areas, but with a lot of neon signs and holograms out in the middle of nowhere and that kind of thing. So that's what I mean with Blade Runner style. Are we going? All right. More advertisements. ArcCorp welcomes you. Yeah, the entire planet is a city. It doesn't have the skyline that this area has going on, Area 18. Most areas also don't have a dedicated spaceport. However, there are rooftops where you can land with your ship and do things. We'll probably get back to rooftops and doing things there in a moment, but for now we'll need to land in the business district here. Alright, let's head back out. Yay, more ads. Also more stairs. Even more ads. No, actually, these are arrival times and departure times, like, you know, in an airport. But those arrival and departure times are unsimulated, so it's just trying to give you the impression of being one. Anyway, there's 3 things I want to do, so let's do those. I'm not going to give you the full tour of the area around here, though you probably might remember this thing if you ever played ArcCorp, the solo instance, because that was also there and was kind of a important landmark there. The rest has changed drastically, though, that basically you probably won't be able to find many things at this point. But let's go to the main building here. I think it's called ArcCorp Tower or something. Because there's a shop hidden here that took me an embarrassing while to actually find it. So that's why I show it to you now, because then you don't have to look for it. Because there's a pretty interesting shop here that basically sells a lot of different ship weapons that no other shop really sells you. So if you want to modify your ships with weapons, which, since we're now in 3.5.1 and changes to your ships will survive your ship being destroyed, is something I'd recommend at least trying out. But before we can change our ship loadout, we do need to buy guns, right? Or missile launchers, maybe, depending on what we want to change. Door. Thank you. Anyway, this is center mass, which, as I said, has all sorts of ship weapons and all kinds of sizes, colors, and that kind of stuff. From I'm not entirely sure which size this is. That's only size 4, alright? I figured I would have thought it was at least 5, not 4. Alright. But it has even bigger guns than size 4, I believe. So let's use the terminal. Well, I wanted to buy a different missile launcher than the one I have. I would like a 313. Basically, all missile launchers have numbers. The first number tells you what kind of missile size port they fit. All that begin with 3 are size 3, so they fit on a size 3 missile launcher port on a ship. Then the next number gives you a number of how many missiles fit on there. For this one, only 1 missile fits on there, but the number after that tells us it's a size 3 missile, unlike this one, which would fit 2 size 2 missiles. So I just want to buy 2 of these so I can experiment a little bit with my arrow. Also gonna buy missiles for them. Some decent size 3 missile maybe. That sounds good. Alright. Also has FPS weapons apparently. That's good, then I can skip one of the shops that I wanted to go to because I wanted to buy a new pistol. And this way I can just skip over that part. Alright. Don't mind that too much. And I also wanted to buy some guns, I'm pretty sure. I think I wanted to buy some size 2 repeaters. Also, maybe. Maybe. It's a good question. I think I'll get back here at some point just to check out other things. I think I also buy 2 sledges, 2 mass drivers. And 2 of the size 1 Omnis guy. Yeah. Alright, just so that I have some things to play with. Size 6 guns, 133,000. Well, I don't have a ship that can fit a size 6 gun. To be real here. The guns on the ship that we were just on, I believe, are exactly these ones. Size 5 M4A. I believe, or was it? I think it was size 5. Anyway, whatever I said earlier was correct. Good. Let's head back out again. I also have a contract here, which is the whole marker is for Twitch, because I'm now working with Twitch, but not that Twitch that you probably think of. Alrighty. There's more things around that I'm not gonna show you all of it. It will take like half an hour to just walk around everywhere, going to all shops and see what's to buy there. That's not what I'm here for today, I'm afraid. Because I do want to do some work. Get some more money, you know, so that I can later come back here and spend the money on stuff. Let's head through these ominous dark alleyways here in order to speak to Twitch. Hey. What the hell? Something's not triggering properly. Hello? Well, apparently we're not going to do the Twitch mission. That's sad. Really? I guess I'm gonna end the episode here then. I mean, we're already at past the half-hour mark. I think in the next episode we're gonna try and find an instance where talking to Twitch actually works. Apparently right now she got issues, so we'll have a talk with her next time and do rather different missions than most missions we've done in the past. Hopefully. I'll see you next time.